This video is brought to you by SoccerPro.com, bringing you everyday low prices with no membership fees. Be sure to use coupon code SR4U at checkout to receive $10 off any order of $100 or more. Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the Nike Magista Obra in the brand new black, blue lagoon, and Volt yellow colorway. Now inside the box they do include a string bag to go along with the shoes themselves. The string bag is black in color with Volt yellow strings. You're going to find your white Nike football branding on one side and a white Nike swoosh on the other. Other than that, all you're going to find inside the box, as you guys can see, are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly and take a closer look at this really nice colorway of the Nike Magista Obra. So here they are, guys. In today's video, we're going to of course take a detailed look at the colorway itself, as well as go over all the tech specs and performance aspects that you should know about the Magista Obra if you are interested in a pair for yourself. Speaking of being interested in a pair, if you check out the review page on my website, it'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. You will find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you will actually be able to pick these up below their normal retail price. So if you're interested in a pair, first link down below in the description, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's quickly talk about the colorway. Now, this particular colorway immediately reminded me of these guys right here, which was one of the first three colorways of the Magista Obra. They both have a black base. This new one features blue lagoon on the lateral side and then fades in the forefoot to the medial side, which is Volt yellow, as you guys can see, whereas the previous colorway release from Nike had the Volt on the lateral side and then it faded in the forefoot and on the medial side into Hyper Punch pink. They both have the same white Nike swoosh with the black outline, black dynamic fit collars. Obviously this one does have the Volt ring along the top. I actually prefer the all black look of this new one. And then of course you do have the black laces versus the Volt yellow laces on the new pair. But nonetheless, two of my personal favorite colorways of the Magista Obra so far. That's my opinion. Leave your opinions down below in the comment section. So again, you have a black base to this shoe. It does have the clear Nike skin kind of covering, so you do get to see all the detail in the Flyknit. And these two colors, the blue lagoon, which is kind of like a royal blue color, and then of course the Volt yellow, which essentially is just like a highlighter yellow color, just looks really good. The transition between the two in the forefoot just looks really unique. I like that you get to see the actual design and stitching of the Flyknit material itself. You have another Nike swoosh right here, your ACC branding in kind of like a dark gray. Like I mentioned, the Volt yellow laces, all black around the dynamic fit collar. You do have your Magista branding along the back in white. The heel counter is black, as you guys can see. Then you do have some Volt yellow and more blue lagoon accents in the studs as well as in the sole plate. So all in all, really good looking colorway in my opinion, especially if you prefer something with a black base like me. Leave your opinions on it down below in the comment section though. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. As far as performance is concerned, I think most people are pretty familiar with what the Magista Obra is all about, and if you want all of the nitty-gritty details, there's a very detailed written review on the review page on my site. It's the first link down below in the description, as I mentioned earlier in the video, and there's tons of content on my channel in video form as well. I'll leave annotations on screen to my play test, my traction test, as well as several comparison videos I have regarding the Nike Magista Obra, again, if you want to learn more information. But for the sake of this video, we'll go over the basic tech specs that you should know if you're interested in a pair of these for yourself. So the first thing, and probably the main reason why you would buy these, is one, they're made from Flyknit, and two, they feature a mid-cut design. The Flyknit material that they've used is a very interesting type of synthetic. It's actually knitted by a machine. A person couldn't actually make this, and it's much more dense and structured than you might expect. Going around the main foot area of the shoe, aside from along the top of the laces, is a very structured, layered Flyknit material. There is an internal lining material as well to kind of maintain that structure. It has some texturing to it. All of this design is not just for looks. It is actually part of the structure of this shoe. And what's exciting and unique about Flyknit is they have the ability to engineer every square millimeter of the upper. Everything that is on this shoe was by design, which I think is just really, really cool. As far as what it's all about, you will find that the Flyknit makes up the base. It creates a sock-like level of flexibility and comfort. It's thin, it's flexible, but like I said, it's a lot more solid and dense than I think you might expect. You do have also Brio cables acting as a support system that are knitted in between the little designs here. So it runs from the base of the sole plate, around the lace holes, and then back down to the base of the sole plate, similar to what we've seen with Flywire on previous Superfly models, but these are Brio cables. They're a little bit thicker, but still kind of get the same point across and provide the same level of surprisingly good support. So all of this area of the upper is more structured. You're not going to get any kind of rollover or any kind of looseness when the shoe is actually tied. They actually are very supported and extremely responsive while still maintaining great comfort and awesome sock-like flexibility. You do have a Nike skin layer on top that does provide a slightly grippy sensation on the ball on what would otherwise be a pretty slick shoe if they just left it completely exposed Flyknit. And then of course it does feature ACC all conditions control as well, acting as your wet control element. Speaking of using these things in wet weather, I know a lot of people are skeptical because they are made from Flyknit. These things are actually really good at keeping your feet dry in the wet. When it is actually extremely rainy, this is one of the shoes that I pull out because you have the Nike skin covering where water is not going to seep through, and because the Flyknit material is so dense and so layered, it really does take a lot for water to actually get inside the shoe. And of course it's mid-cut, so as far as being water resistant, because no shoe is waterproof, I would say these are more water resistant than pretty much any other shoe out there at the moment. You do have a lacing system that runs through the middle but is slightly pushed to the medial side of the shoe. A little bit difficult to see, but that is the case. And then along the top of the foot, as well as the dynamic fit collar, is a less structured, more elasticated variation of Flyknit. So you put you slide your foot inside the shoe and it kind of hugs your foot, wraps it really, really nicely, even prior to tying the laces. And then when you pull the laces tight, you get all the structure from the rest of the upper as well as the Brio cables. And again, it just makes for a lockdown, responsive sensation while still maintaining that sock-like level of comfort. As far as the mid-cut design is concerned, this collar really doesn't have any structure to it. There's no plastic, there's no rigidity, there's nothing that is making the shoe stiffer or adding any kind of ankle support. It's simply there as an element that kind of creates for more of a seamless sensation when this shoe is on your foot, as opposed to something that is being cut a little bit lower. It could be cut lower, but they went for this mid-cut design because one, I think it looks cool, and two, it does actually create for a pretty unique sensation that you wouldn't normally expect from a pair of soccer shoes. Also, it doesn't add really any bulk. It doesn't necessarily feel weird. It'll take some getting used to, I suppose, and it certainly does not get in the way of your kind of kicking the ball or anything while you're playing. So just keep that in mind if you were a little bit concerned about that. As far as the inside of the shoe is concerned, there is a synthetic leather heel liner at the very base with some decent padding. It is completely smooth. The insole is fully removable. Here's a look at it. Mesh liner on top, perforations throughout, and it's just made from one single layer of this foam material. Decent thickness, and as far as step-in comfort is concerned, they definitely do get the job done. You do have a one-piece sole plate and heel counter with the heel counter right there. Something that I really like on any shoe, provides some decent protection as well as prevents your heel from sliding from side to side. And then of course the sole plate, it's a plastic material, but it's a lot stiffer than you might expect. And it also does feature this all conical stud pattern apart from the two bladed studs in the middle and the one Mercurio S stud at the tip of the toe. Reminds me a lot and performs a lot like the Tiempo line from Nike, but obviously you have bladed studs in the heel on the Tiempos, whereas on the Magista you get all rounded studs, and these are a little bit narrower in profile as well, so you get plenty of traction because of their narrow profile. They dig into the ground really easily, and because they're rounded in shape, you can push off in pretty much any direction, and you do have a decent amount of maneuverability as well. One of my personal favorite stud patterns actually. So on firm natural grass playing surfaces, the performance as far as traction is concerned is really, really good in my opinion. So that's pretty much it as far as tech specs are concerned. Again, if you guys want more details on the overall performance, the fit and feel, check out the full written review on my website. First link down below in the description. And with that being said, let's move on to a quick weigh-in so we can see how lightweight these guys are. As far as weight is concerned, while the Magista Obra isn't being marketed as a lightweight speed boot, it actually is a lot lighter than you might expect. So I'm going to weigh this pair for you today in real time. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9.5 US. Going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 7 ounces exactly, which is pretty much right on par with the Superfly 4 as well. So if you were trying to decide between the Superfly 4 and the Magista Obra. Really take into consideration how the shoe fits and the type of feel that it's going to offer, as well as the stud pattern that it's going to offer, rather than the weight of the shoe, because the weight of the Obra and the Superfly are pretty much the same. They're light enough to the point where you don't really tell when you're wearing these shoes. They're comfortable, they have that sock-like seamless sensation, and like I said, if you're going to complain about anything with this shoe, it should not be the weight. Alright, here is a look at the Magista Obras on feet. On my left foot, I have these stock Volt Yellow laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot, I have a pair of SR4U replacement laces in reflective white. These are replacement laces that fit your soccer shoes. They're available in 10 different colors, and if you're interested in a pair for yourself, check out the website sr4ulaces.com. There'll be a link to it down below in the description. 10 different colors are available. Keep that in mind. So, as far as how these things fit and feel from right out of the box, they're very, very comfortable shoes. If you haven't worn a mid-cut Flyknit model from Nike before, they have an interesting feel about them, but in a good way. There's not so much a break-in period as much as there is just a period of getting used to these things. So they will feel a little bit strange at first. Take your time with breaking them in. Wear them in slowly. Don't wear them straight into a free kick session, straight into a hard practice, or directly into a game. You will cause yourself some discomfort that you don't necessarily need to go through. A lot of people struggle with issues around the heel of the shoe. And again, that just goes into wearing the shoe too hard too quickly. If you wear them in slowly, kind of slowly become more and more comfortable in the shoes, you're going to avoid blisters, you're going to avoid any kind of discomfort at all. And that, like I said, is my best advice when it comes to breaking these things in. Hot water is not necessary. It's actually not going to do anything because these are actually knitted. There's nothing that water will impact with this particular shoe. They're not going to stretch. The way they fit is the way they'll fit for their entire lifespan. And again, it's just a comfortable shoe once you get used to them. So please, please, please keep that in mind. The upper is soft. It has that sock-like fit. Of course, it does have the mid-cut design, and because there is no overlapping materials, it's completely one piece. It has a nice seamless sensation where it feels like it's an extension of your foot, an extension of your body, I guess I should say, rather than a pair of shoes on your feet. That's really the best way to describe how these things feel. As far as width is concerned, it's a tighter fitting shoe, but it isn't overly tight. It's a nice snug fit across the entire foot. There's a decent amount of width to these. And again, as long as you don't normally struggle with the width of your soccer shoes, you shouldn't have any issues in the Magista Obra either. And as far as sizing is concerned, instead of wearing my usual size 9 US, I find that the Magista line in general runs about a half size small, similar to what the CTR 360s were. So instead of a 9, I went up to a 9.5 US, and the fit and the length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of Magista Obras for yourself, I would strongly recommend going half a size up for the best possible fit, or if you're coming from the previous CTR 360 line, stick with the exact same size. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the black, blue Lagoon, and Volt Yellow Magista Obra. Really good looking colorway in my opinion, and the overall performance really does speak for itself. There's a reason why this shoe is so popular. It's got the Flyknit upper, the mid-cut design that creates a very unique fit and feel. The touch on the ball is thinner, but it does have a slightly padded sensation at the same time. It's responsive, keeps you locked in place. They're nice and lightweight, plus it has a great stud pattern in my opinion. So all in all, a shoe that I can strongly recommend when it comes to both visuals as well as performance. It really has everything you could possibly want if this is a type of shoe that appeals to you. Again, if you guys want more details on the overall performance, I would strongly recommend checking out the full written review on my website. The link to that review page is down below in the description, the very first link. Along with the full written review on the review page, you will find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes that will allow you to pick these up below their normal $275 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below in the description, go ahead and check out that review page. If you guys have any questions at all regarding the Magista Obra, or just suggestions of other videos you'd like to see featured on the channel, leave your suggestions down below. I'll answer your questions and take a look at everything you guys have to say. If you guys enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. That would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.